Hey there, sewing enthusiasts. Ever battled those tricky curved seams around armholes and necklines? They can be a real pain, right? But fear not, because today we're diving into the secrets of sewing perfect curves. Trust me, it's easier than you think. First things first, let's talk about the prep work. This is where the magic really happens. Grab your pattern pieces and your fabric. Before you even think about sewing, stay stitch those curves. What's stay stitching? It's simply a line of stitches sewn just inside the seam allowance. This prevents the fabric from stretching and distorting while you're handling it. Super important. Use a regular stitch length, and don't skip this step. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Next up, the cutting. Accuracy is key. Cut your fabric pieces precisely along the pattern lines. A good pair of sharp scissors or a rotary cutter will be your best friends here. When you're dealing with curves, small, precise cuts are even more crucial. Take your time, and don't rush it. Sloppy cutting equals sloppy seams. And we don't want that, do we? Alright, let's get to the actual sewing. Pin your fabric pieces together, right sides facing. Place those pins perpendicular to the seam, nice and close together. The more pins, the merrier, especially on those curves. This helps to hold everything in place and prevent shifting. Now, sew those seams. Use a standard seam allowance, usually 12-inch or 58-inch. Check your pattern for specifics. Sew slowly and carefully, guiding the fabric smoothly around the curve. Don't pull or stretch the fabric as you sew. Let the machine do the work. Now for the secret weapon: clipping and notching. Once you've sewn your seam, trim the seam allowance down to about 14-inch. Then, make small, angled cuts into the seam allowance, almost up to the stitching line. These are called clips. If you have an inward curve, like an armhole, you'll clip into the seam allowance. For an outward curve, like a neckline, you'll notch the seam allowance by snipping small triangles out of it. Clipping and notching help the seam to lie flat and smooth when you turn it right side out. Don't skip this step. It's vital for a professional finish. Be careful not to clip through your stitching. Pressing is your next move. Press your seams open or towards one side, depending on your pattern instructions. Use a steam iron and a pressing cloth to avoid damaging your fabric. Pressing really sets the shape of the seam and makes it look polished. This is where the magic really happens. Finally, for that extra touch of perfection, understitch and topstitch. Understitching involves sewing a line of stitches through the seam allowance and the facing or lining close to the seam. This helps the facing or lining to stay on the inside, preventing it from rolling out. Top stitching is a decorative and functional stitch, sewn on the outside of the garment, close to the seam. It adds a professional touch and helps to keep the seam in place. Give these a go, and your curves will be flawless. So there you have it. Sewing perfect curved seams isn't so scary. After all, is it? Just remember the prep work: accurate cutting, careful sewing, clipping and notching, proper pressing, and those finishing touches. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Happy sewing, and go get those curves.